Good morning all of you, and today's we will discuss about to the global cloud exchange. Basically this unit is belongs to the unit 4 cloud computing, is basically used for the CSE student on the final year students. So let's discuss about to the what is global cloud exchange. So in the global cloud exchange, basically we are talking about to the market oriented cloud computing. And market oriented cloud computing means they are basically belongs to the market, how the market is going on, and we have to exchange the cloud from one company to the another company. So the market what is the need of market computer architecture? Basically the need is consume will require different quality of service to be maintained by their provider. So there are different service which are provided by the provider, and provider will need to consider and meet different QoS parameter of each individual consumer. So different consumer has a different need. So that's why the all the service provider, all the market companies is not meet all the requirement of the consumer. So market oriented resource management is necessary to regulate the supply and demand cloud resources at market equilibrium. So we have to manage these requirement according to the users. So basically that is the diagram of the market oriented cloud architecture. So in this diagram, basically we are here, these are the users and the brokers. Okay, so these are the users and the brokers which is connected with the service request examiner and the admission control here. And that is customer driven service management, computational risk management, autonomic resource management. VM monitor, we already know that the virtual machine monitor, and these are the pricing. This is the dispatcher, and that is service request monitor, that is accounting, and which is connected with this one. So that's called the SLA, resource allocator. Okay, next these are connected to the virtual machine. They are represented the virtual machine, and these are the physical machine which is located on the location site. So these physical virtual machine are connected to the virtual machine, and the virtual machine how to be provided to the users or broker according to the user's need. That particular kind of need, if we are user, then we are provided these machines. So there are different things in this market oriented cloud architecture. So first one is the users and the brokers. So the basically users or brokers is submit service request from anywhere in the world. For example, if I am the user and I am just request to the service provider that these services required for me, just like the Netflix, just like the Amazon Prime, if we are required that particular link, and that we have to using according to the user's need. Next one is a SLA, resource allocator. So resource allocator, it means basically allocate the resources. So the interface between the cloud service provider and the user. According to this is a SLA resource allocator, and these are the users and the brokers, and these are the basically the virtual machine which is connected with the by using the SLA. So interface between cloud provider and the users. So this is the diagram of the SLA resource allocator. So in this diagram, basically the service request examiner and the admission control are there, and basically the use of this service request examiner and the admission control. So first one is a customer driven service management. According to the users, they are manage the services. Second one is a computational risk management. Okay, so that is also required. And third one is the autonomic resource management. So if the users are request, then automatically autonomic resource managed by the user. And also they are working with the VM monitor, and according to the pricing, and with the dispatcher, and the accounting, manage the accounting, and the manage the service request monitor. Okay, so here they are request, and then they are perform that accounting, and accounting that perform how much accounting are there, and that is also the VM monitor, and the dispatcher is basically working with this service SLA resource allocator. So in the global exchange of the cloud resources, so in order to support a large number of application services consumer from around the world, so cloud infrastructure providers just like Infra as a service provider have established data center For example, some company is established data center in India, Japan, Russia, and different countries. Is a multiple geographic location, okay, like India, Russia, China, to provide redundancy and ensure reliability in case of site failure. If the one side is failure, for example, the Indian side is failure, then we are automatically switch to the Russian side, automatically switch to the USA. For example, Amazon had data center in the United States, one on the East Coast and the another on the West Coast, and also the Europe. So basically there are the 3 data centers Amazon. So if suddenly if one data center is working not proper working, so automatically switch to the another data center. So currently Amazon expect its cloud customer service as a software as a service provider to express a preference regarding where they want their application service to be hosted. So if the some users want to my service is requested into the Europe, okay. So Amazon does not provide seamless automatic mechanisms for scaling its hosted service across multiple geographical distributed data center. So this approach has many shortcomings. The first shortcoming is, first, it is difficult for the cloud customer to determine in advance the best location for hosting their services, as they may not know the origin of the customer of their service. Okay, that is the first shortcoming. Second, SaaS provider may not be able to meet quality of services expectation of their service consumers originating from multiple geographic locations. So these necessitate building mechanisms for seamless federation of data center of cloud provider or provider supporting dynamic scaling of application across multiple domains in order to meet quality of services target of the cloud customers. So in addition, no single cloud infrastructure provider will be able to establish its data center at all possible locations throughout the world. It's not possible. Every service provider located all the data center. So as a result, cloud application services, software as a services provider will have difficult to meeting QoS expectation for all their consumer. So hence they would like to make use of a service of a multiple cloud infrastructure service provider who can provide better support for the specific consumer need. This kind of requirement often arises in the enterprises with global operations and applications such as internet services, media hosting, and Web 2.0 application. So these necessitates federation of cloud infra services provider for seamless provisioning of service across different cloud provider. To realize these kind of shortcomings, the CloudBus project at the University of Melbourne has proposed inter-cloud architecture. It means we have to exchange the cloud data, support brokering and exchange of cloud resources for the scaling purpose across the multiple clouds. So by realizing inter-cloud architectural principle in mechanisms is their offering, cloud provider will be able to dynamically expand or resize their provisioning capability based on sudden spikes in workload demand while leasing available computational and storage capabilities from other cloud service provider. So operate as a part of the market driven resource leasing federation, we have to using for the leasing purpose. So where application service providers such as Salesforce.com host their service based on the negotiated SLA contract driven by the competitive market prices and deliver on demand, reliable, cost effective and quality of service of their services based on the virtualization technology while ensuring high quality of service standard, minimizing the service cost of the user. So they need to able to utilize market based utility model as the basic of the provisioning of the virtualized software services and federated hardware infrastructure Federated means a different location working together and merged on one particular side. Federated hardware infrastructure among users with heterogeneous application. So what is global cloud exchange and the market? So limitation of the present service provider, inflexible pricing. The first limitation is inflexible pricing. Consumer are restricted to offer single provider at a time. Unable to swap one provider for another, or no standard interface are there. So these are the basic limitation of the present service provider. But now, using with the cloud exchange, that called the cloud CEX, act as a market maker from bringing together service producer and the consumer. Okay. So basically it aggregate the infra demand from applications broker and evaluates them against the available supply currently published by the cloud coordinator. So it supports trading of the cloud service based on the competitive economic model such as commodity market and the auction. CX allows participants to locate provider and consumers with fitting offers such as market enabled service to be commoditized, and thus will pave the way of the creation dynamic market infrastructure for trading based on the SLA. Also, the availability of the banking system within the market ensures that financially transactions pertaining to SLA between participants are carried out in a secure and dependable environment. So that is the infrastructure of the global cloud exchange. For example, here is the broker 1. Okay, here is ... broker n. There are the lot of brokers are there. These are the compute cloud, that is the storage cloud, that is compute cloud, that is storage cloud, different. This is the negotiated or bid, that is the request capacity according to the ERP proxy, enterprise IT counselor, and these are the basically belongs to the directory, bank and the auctioneer. Okay, so all the brokers are they are request to the enterprise IT consumer that provided the services. These are the published offers, these are the offers which is provided by the compute client, and these are the storage which is we have to store the data. So market directory, banking system, brokers, price setting mechanisms, admission control mechanisms, resource management system, consumer utility function or resource management proxy. So these are the some points which are required for the global cloud exchange. There are the lot of challenges in this era. Unwillingness to shift from traditional controlled environment, regulatory pressure, because there are the some companies or government authorities that is provided that there is some pressure about the regulation, rules and regulation. How to obtain restitution in the case of SLA violation, if there are some SLA violation, service legal agreement, that how to restitution of this particular violation. Okay, so that is the Google global cloud exchange. And the next topic is security issues and challenging in the cloud computing. So basically the cloud computing is a very vast topic. So there are the lot of securities issues and lots of challenges facing to perform the cloud computing. So we already know that what is cloud computing. Cloud computing basically internet based computing where all the shared resources, software, information are provided to the computer and device on demand services. User can access information from anywhere and the anytime. These are the some characteristics or features of the cloud computing. Basically these are the 5 main characteristics: on demand, self, broad network, resource peeling, rapid elasticity, measured service or the pricing. On demand self services means just like we are using the Netflix, just we have to purchase the Netflix and we can easily see the videos. Broad network access, there are a lot of network access are there. We can access anywhere in the world. Resource peeling, if someone purchase a software as a services, then if I am purchasing a software as a services, and you can just ask me the user and password, and you can also using that particular resources. Rapid elasticity, so we can easily increase the size or decrease the size. Measured services, when we are using that services, that is some counting are there, and also measured how services you are using, and also the pricing. Private cloud just managed by the organization service solely. Public cloud is owned and managed by the large cloud services provider. Commodity cloud just is specific for the some community. The cloud managed by several organizations and support a specific community that has the same interest. Hybrid cloud, it is a combination of the private and cloud cloud. Is composed of 2 or more of the above model. Services model, we already know the software as a services, platform as a services, or infra as a services. So software as a service is offered the application functionality from the service provider rather than buying, installing and running the software by the user. It just using the platform in the cloud upon which application can be developed and executed. Or vendor offers the computing power and storage space on the demand. Data breach, data related security, basically data breach, first is confidentiality, your data is confidential, and data integrity, like your data is integrate, means as it is your data. Data lock-in, users may lose data if they are migrate from one vendor to the another. Data remains at the residual representation of the data that have been nominally erased or removed in some way. Data recovery, sometimes server may break down and cause damage or loss to user data. To avoid this, data should be backup on the recovered in the future. Just like the one data center is backup to the another place. Data locality in SaaS model of the cloud environment, the user doesn't know where the data is stored, so which may be an issues. So the issue can be resolved by creating secure SaaS model which can provide reliability of the customer on the location of the data of the user. Some of the application related security issues are there. Cloud malware injection attack. If the hackers just to inject the malware in your server, so malicious virtual machine or service implementation is injected into the cloud system. One solution to prevent this to perform the integrity check of the service instance. Cookies poisoning. So unauthorized access is made into the application by modifying the context in the cookies. One solution is to clean up the cookies or encrypt the cookies data. Backdoor entry, backdoor or debug option. So we can easily identify the debug from the backdoor option. The debug option is of the developer who used to implement any change requested at a later stage in website. Since these debug option provider back entry of the developer, sometimes these debug option are left enabled unnoticed. They may provide easy access to the hackers, allow them to make change. Hidden field verification, they are the certain field which is hidden by the users for the user, the website, and is used by the developer. Hackers can easily modify on the web page. CSP level attack. So attacker will try access cloud service provider level attack. Attacker will try get access to one virtual machine by pen training another virtual machine hosted in the same hardware. Or we can using the SQL injection. It is done by the SQL command into the database for application to the cache of the database. Malicious insider, just like to maliciate in private cloud, employee granted access to the sensitive data of some of all customer administrators. Such privilege may be exposed information to the security threat. Side channel attack, it occurs when an attacker places a malicious virtual machine on the same physical machine as the victim machine so that they can access all the confidential information on the victim machine. Next in network level attacks. So there are a lot of network level attacks are there. DNS attack, like the domain hijacking. So we can hijack the domain exchange just like the sbi.co.in, so just like the sbi.com. So without the knowledge or permission from the domain's owner or creator, this enables that intruder or access the sensitive information. Cross-site scripting, it is a type of attack in which user enter might URL of a website and hacker on the other side redirect the user to own website and hack it credential. Just like this, these are the attackers, these are the victim. Attacker just inject the malicious script into the vulnerable web page. User requests this data from the servicer and malicious script may get executed callback to the attacker. So that's what server malicious script into the database and that allowed to the malicious script is loaded. IP spoofing, just like the internet protocol spoofing. Attacker users, that is the internet service provider. DDoS attack, that is the target services, and these are the attacker users, and we can usually attack do. So DOS attack, hackers overflow in network services or web services with frequent denial of services and request services to damage the network. The denial of services cannot keep with them. Server cloud not legitimate cloud regular request. Main in the middle, just like this. This is the middleman. That is the original connection. Just to switch to this and this to this. So man in the middle, phishing or the anonymous proxy. This is using for the if secret letter is not properly configured. Network sniffing. That is the internal sniffer, wireless sniffer, and the external sniffer. Another type of attack is network sniffer. It is more critical issue of the network security in which unencrypted data are hacked through network by capturing packet of data. So these are the requirement: identification, authentication, authorization, non-repudiation or availability. These are the 4 requirement for the cloud computing. Challenges, the like security, costing model, charging model, service level agreement, or the cloud interoperability issues are there. So these are the today we will discuss about the 2 topics. First is Google Cloud Exchange, and the other is security issues in the cloud computing. If there is any question, just ask me my mail ID guptapradeep@akgc.ac.in. Thank you.